As we approach one of the most anticipated events of the year by both developers and Apple fans, everyone is left wondering what can they expect from Apple in 2020 from Worldwide Developers Conference. How's it going, everybody? This is Pixel Tech. The date of recording this is the 8th of April. I hope everyone's been safe and doing alright, because today's topic is a bit of a wild one. So let's take a brief look at what we can expect from Apple's Worldwide Developers Conference in 2020. To start, we should acknowledge that the Worldwide Developers Conference primarily focuses on software. That is why it is for developers. So we often have big letdowns when we don't see hardware there, even though we have seen hardware in the past. It isn't a guaranteed thing. So with this, we can expect iOS 14, watchOS 6, iPadOS 14, the new macOS and whatever its name is, because that's probably going to be the most anticipated part, and of course a bit of hardware. They may have some new updates for tvOS as well, but primarily we're going to be focusing on iOS and watchOS and the hardware. When it comes to iOS 14, we are not entirely sure what we are getting ourselves into. This is primarily because for the past few years we've just been saying dark mode, dark mode, dark mode. Now that we have it, we have to become a bit more creative, or at least think a bit more critically when it comes to the features that Apple could add. iOS 14 is set to be focused on stability after some less than optimal bugs on iOS 13. However, unlike iOS 12, which focused on stability and speed, we can still expect a few new features to come along with iOS 14. These features can include drop-down menus for Cores and Siri so that they don't take over the entirety of screen real estate, which would probably be the most noticeable features are those ones that I just mentioned, unlike a few small things that we're expecting in iMessage when it comes to being able to add people, being able to retract messages, and being able to tag someone in a group conversation. There's also an expectation for workout videos provided by Apple. However, it seems as if you may need an Apple Watch in order to actually use these. Speaking of Apple Watch, what's going to happen with watchOS 7? Because year over year, I've always thought to myself, what can they add? And then they happen to add something. It's like, oh, I didn't think of that, but that's pretty cool. So here's a list of things that they could add to the new Apple Watch software. Sleep tracking, control center toggles for sleep mode, and noise detection. Ability to share watch faces. An Infograph Pro watch face with the ability to have a tachymeter. And last but not least, blood oxygen detection. However, we may have to wait for the new Apple Watch Series 6 to actually see this feature. Now when it comes to macOS, I got nothing. They're most likely to just improve speed and stuff. However, the other part of Apple's laptops or computer system has to be iPadOS. So what can we expect from that? Well, really just the same standard upgrades as iOS, plus I really want Final Cut Pro. Now, not just a watered down version like what Apple does with iMovie, but a full-fledged Final Cut Pro would be awesome and would really showcase Apple's alleged power of these iPad Pros. However, one can only dream, and this is highly unlikely. So now let's move on to something that is likely: hardware. There should be three things: uno, dos y tres. And if we get more, well then bonus. If we get less, de-bonus. Yeah, these three pieces of hardware are going to include the AirTags, a new MacBook Pro, and Apple's over-ear headphone solution. Now to start, AirTags are going to be similar in the concept to tile trackers, where you attach them to some sort of object like a TV remote, and then you track them so you don't lose it. You should be able to use the AirTags through Find My on your phone or iPad or Mac. And what's really fascinating is that there should be an AR feature that almost puts this balloon with a string tied to the object you're trying to find, so you can look for it in the room that you're in, and then it will obviously show you where it is. And that's a really cool feature because, yes, let's say you leave your keys at work, well then you know it's at work. But when you get to work, where is it? Pull out your phone, AR, there it is, and that would be pretty neat. Now many people are probably going to hate on this as soon as it comes out and goes, oh, Apple's just copying from other tracking services. Well, yes, but actually no, because although the concept isn't theirs, they are likely to add some sort of Apple magic touch that makes it more seamless and easier to use, which is the same as seamless, but yes, they're likely to make it even better if you integrate it with the ecosystem. And when it comes to the new MacBook Pro, it's just going to be an upgrade to the previous MacBook Pro, so we're really going to have to see what Apple does there. But now on to what I think is going to be the most exciting part of WWDC 2020 is Apple's over-the-ear headphone solution, because that's just going to be amazing. Seeing what they did with AirPods and how they totally rattled the market there, let's see if they can do the same. They do seem to be phasing out Beats, which is another video I have, so go check that out. The link will be in the description. Now the things we want to know about these headphones are, number one, what it's going to look like, what it's going to sound like, what USPs are going to have, it's a unique selling feature because AirPods had their USP, so these have to have one if we're going to distinguish it between it and the competition. And lastly, what are they going to price it at? Are they going to price it in the middle at around $300, which will compete with Bose and Sony and companies like that, or they're going to price it slightly higher at like $399, which is my bet, and this will be competing with like B&O and once again Bose, because they also have their Y700 at $399. Really, where are they going to be competing with these set of headphones? Well, that's been all. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe if you haven't already, but most importantly, leave a comment down below letting me know your thoughts on what you are most excited about for WWDC 2020. This is Pixel Tech signing out.